Welcome back. The House of Representatives, Nigeria's second legislative chamber, has expressed its support for the legal action taken by the Nigerian government, the federal government, against the 36 states of the federation. This is an action to enforce the autonomy of subnational governments at the grassroots level, the local governments in the country. And of course, we have 774 local government areas in Nigeria. Now, the deputy spokesperson of the House of Representatives is Representative Philip Agbese. What did he say? He said the legislators are in support of the federal government's push for local government autonomy. And also, we hear that the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOGE, one of the most powerful labor unions in the country, also this week is declaring its readiness to not just support the federal government's move for local government autonomy, but to aggressively mobilize its local government branches all across all 774 local governments to troop out to loudly support the federal government. It might go on maybe a protest in the push for this local government autonomy. Nigeria's federal government has approached the Supreme Court with a suit which is seeking to compel the 36 states of the federation to grant full autonomy to the local government areas in the country. What will this mean for Nigeria going forward? Now, the suit filed by the Attorney-General Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, in that suit, the federal government is urging the Apex Court, Nigeria's Supreme Court, to issue an order prohibiting the state governors from unilateral, arbitrary, and unlawful dissolution of democratically elected local government leaders for local governments. Well, joining us to discuss this some more is Godbless Otubure. He is the Global President, ReadyToLeadAfrica, a national security, statecraft, and defense intelligence emerging expert. He is in Washington, D.C., the United States of America. God bless, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you as well.
Yeah. Why is the federal government, in your opinion, going the judicial route and not the legislative route to try and push through something that Nigerians have been clamoring for a very long time?
I mean, because that is the end all of the conversation. If you have governors currently now across 18 states who are shredding the Constitution, you cannot go through the legislature. You go through the judiciary, because a pronouncement from the Supreme Court enforced by, the state security apparatus and, of course, supported by the legislature, would see an end to it. Even though 7 years ago there was a pronouncement by the Supreme Court that it's unconstitutional what these governors are doing, we still see that executive recklessness and rascality, which has sort of, become something that we're now getting used to, which is not supposed to be. So I'm in support of what the federal government is doing, and I hope that this time around is different, and that this, I would use the word, madness comes to an end.
All right. What damage has lack of, autonomy or the respect of the independence of the 30 of government, the local government system, what damage has that done to Nigeria as a nation?
It has done almost irreparable damages. Primary education is at the local level. The markets, drainages, local community roads, the town halls, local security, parks, rights to control environmental waste and water view. These are all responsibilities of the local government, i.e. counties. I live in a county in, the DMV in Arlington, and it's just amazing what the local county and its officials, what they do in terms of how governance is run. When you have a local government system that is beholden to the state governor, you don't have any form of development happening. And I've always said this, sometimes it beats my imagination that it's as though we're not ready for self-government. We don't understand what that means. And I say it to everybody. Do we really understand what, being a democratic system, federating units, and you say you have three tiers of government, federal, state. Do you know what it means? There needs to be an understanding of what that means and a commitment that sometimes does not promote your individual selfish gains. That is what leadership is about. So the damages are too much. If you look at the human capital development quotient in the local government areas, it's almost zero. When you look at the urban planning of our local government areas, it's almost zero. When you look at the capacity for markets to attract, businesses from other parts of the state or maybe the country, it's almost zero. How about environmental management and environmental sustainability? It's almost zero. Oh, okay. Let's talk about the ability for people to come together and discuss about what happens in the community. It's almost zero. Guess the people who are now respected at the local government area, at the kings and the monarchs, the traditional rulers, have now almost taken the place of elected, supposedly constitutional, democratically recognized government structure. So the damage is unimaginable. And it's not just only about the autonomy. It's about the idea that when a governor can unilaterally say, we're removing elected officials, and then we're going to create caretaker committees in a constitutional democracy that forbids it. No, we're just 1 minute away from chaos.
Some people who question, full autonomy for local government councils in the country point to the fact, or two, let me not say the fact, the idea that the local governments may not be judicious in the use of resources. And you need a strong governor to ensure that the resources are judiciously used. Otherwise, it's just going to go to be free for all, like an open check.
Look, that is one of the lamest position I would say has ever been used or stated as a reason. Like, is that even a legal position? Can it pass in the court of law? Who is the moral police to say that if you give local government institutions autonomy to manage their resources, then they would squander it? Oh, they're not open to the EFCC? They're not open to accountability? They will not be asked questions on how they govern and use resources? Let me ask the question again. Since the state governors have been managing and been ping-ponging with the local government resources, how judiciously have they used it? We saw recently in one of the southwestern states where a local government chairman accused the governor of mismanaging, the funds meant for the local government. Because of the arbitrary use of power, he got the local government chairman to come to his office and then bow down to him. In a democracy where variation is a human right, where the ability for government to work must be based upon the idea that we disagree with our leaders, not because we disrespect them, but that we disagree and say that this can be done better. So it is a lame excuse, and I think it is just, again, going back to what we've always said. Nigerians must understand that the practice of democracy is beyond individuals. Nobody can sit somewhere and say, if you give local government or autonomy, they're going to squander the money. What does EFCC do? What does ICPC do? What will civil society members do? You think so once local government have autonomy now, we'll all keep quiet? No, of course not.
Okay, so Godbless Otubure, what do Nigerians need to do going forward, seeing that this, is at the apex court, the Supreme Court, and waiting for judgment?
And right now you have the case, and the federal government is taking the right move, and I'm hoping that this is not just another talk. Nigerians should continue to support the federal government's action on this regard. In this regard, we must say that we must mobilize the civil society community and the ecosystem and say, look, There has to be a good pressure campaign on governors to ensure that they back down and respect the Constitution. This is not about resource control. It's about the destruction of the Nigerian state. And as I speak to you, 349 local government areas across the country are being run by unelected officials, 18 states, 18 states. And I'll just call them for you. States like Abia, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Benue, Cross River, Enugu, Gombe, Imo, Kogi, Kwara, Ondo, Osun, Plateau, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara states. They all have local government systems that are run by unelected people. That is an aberration. Nigerians should reject it. We should queue behind the federal government's move. We should support the Attorney General in this move to get the local government free. And I like what he's saying. If you do not have elected government officials, we will not release the funds due to elected officials to the states. Let's see what then happens if they can go to court and win.
All right. Godbless Otubure, Global President, Ready to Lead Africa. Thank you very kindly, spoken so passionately, and we appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you so much for having me, as always.
Right, indeed. The local government system is the closest to the grassroots and the closest to the people, and independence of the local government councils in Nigeria is the least that the people deserve. We'll watch the case and see how it goes, but for now, that's our package this week. We ended on an explosive note tonight. We'll get back to River State sometime next week, trust me. But for now, thanks to you for joining us all through this week on behalf of myself and the entire team of producers and technical people working throughout the production room and the control room and all that. I want to thank you for your time this week. Have a great weekend. My name is Kofi Bartel. See you on Monday.